Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Modesty. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a game from scratch using only the free tools. What is this series about? In this series, we will be making a game from scratch using only the free tools. To be specific, we will be making a brick breaker clone. So you are not going to need any paid softwares, assets, or anything. You just need your computer and time for watching all these videos. What is the aim? Now the aim of this series is to learn the basic concept of making a game from scratch using the free tools. I will discuss those tools later. So we will cover everything from coding, from design, from creating the assets, the sound effect, the storage system, and many more. What tools we are going to use? What are tools that we are going to use? So the first one, for building our game, we will use Unity 3D. For creating our game assets, for example, like maybe if you want to create a car, you want to create weapons, we will be using a Blender. A Blender is a free software. It's used for modeling, for animating, texturing, painting, all these kind of things, and many more. The other softwares that we might use for texturing, painting, for example, we can use Krita and Materialize. And for planning, I will be using Draw.io. Draw.io is a software we use for planning. For example, maybe you want to do some UML diagrams, class diagrams, case diagrams, all these sort of diagrams, we can use the Draw.io. Now, all the links will be on the description for all the softwares and all the resources. You will find them on my Patreon web page. On my Patreon page, you will find all the source code, assets, the slides, the sound effects that you will use on this tutorial. Also, you can check my GitHub page. I can share the source code on the GitHub page. So, thank you. So, I've opened the Unity Hub. I click the new project. By the way, I'm using Unity 2021.3, but you can use any version. Anyway, I will click 3D Core. I'll rename my project to be the brick. Break. Okay, I'll select the path. In my case, I'm just going to save this project on my desktop. So I will just create a folder right here. Okay, let's select this folder. And then I will create a new project. So now that my project is successfully opened, I will begin first by organizing my project. So if you are new from Unity, this is my game view. This is where we test our game. And then if you click right here, this is our scene view, right? So, okay, this is our hierarchy. That's where we organize our game objects, such as cameras, as you can see, the light, and other stuff, etc. So, let's start first by organizing our hierarchy. So, as you can see, we have a default scene, which is named sample scene. We can click on this dot right here, and then click select scene. It will highlight it on your project folder somewhere. So you can rename it right here. I will rename it to main scene, right? And then I'll click reload. Now I have changed the name of the scene. So let's start first by organizing our hierarchy. So if you right click anywhere on this empty space here, right click and then click on empty, create empty, right? I will rename it to managers, right? And then I will create another one. Just press a bunch of slashes, like dashes, right? Just for readability, yeah. Click both of them, click Ctrl D, right? Click F2, name this one to setup, right? Click on this one, hold Ctrl, click on this one, hold Ctrl, press D, Ctrl D. Click this one, press F2, name this one environment, right? Environment. Do the same thing. Click on both of them, Ctrl D. Name this one canvases, right? We can remove this one right here. Okay, you can remove these numbers at the end. This one we don't need it. You can just delete it all. Now, let me explain how we're going to organize our project. So on this, this is just an empty object, right? So right here we'll be organizing our managers. For example, a game manager, an audio manager. We'll discuss that later on as we proceed. In the setup, I will just organize things like this one: lights, cameras, post-processing volumes, etc. Things like that, even systems on this folder. You can just collapse it now. Now my scene is getting cleaner as the project grows. It's very important that you organize your project like this. So let me start first by let me talk about the environment. That's where I'm going to put the game objects that you see on the scene, right? For example, like balls, game objects, bricks, walls, things like that. You can just organize it inside this environment so that you can collapse it easily and keep your hierarchy clean. While right here, canvases, here I'm going to group things like canvases, right? For example, we'll talk later when we're dealing with user interface. But anyway, I will just add an empty canvas so that we can scale our object properly. Anyway, if you look at the upper right corner, right, this is our layout. By default, you get this layout, right? Now what we can do, you can click on it and select 2 by 3. Here we go. You see, now you can see the scene view and the game view together at the same time. So you can expand it. And then click on the canvases and then right click, select UI, hover your mouse on the UI and select the canvas. I will name this one the main canvas. While we are here, click on the main canvas. I want your game to be scalable. Like if you want to build to mobile, or you want to build it to desktop or WebGL, whatever you want to build your project, we'll go to this component right here. Right here, it is your inspector. It is your inspector, and then these things right here, we call them components. So you're going to go to the canvas scaler, where the property is UI scale mode. You can see currently by default it is constant pixel size. I want to change it to scale with the screen size. Right? Now my reference resolution, by default I want it to be HD, that is 1920 by 1080 right there. 1080. Oh god, the keyboard is not working properly. 1080. Nice. So now I can go to the game scene, change it from the free aspect to full HD. Here we go. Right. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to click the environment, right click, select, hover your mouse on the 3D object and select sphere, name it ball. This is going to be your ball, right? And then changes the scale. I will change the scale to something like 0.8. 0.8. 0.8. Nice. While I'm here, I will click again the environment, right click, have your mouse on the 3D game object, select the cube this time, name it player. Now this is your player, so I want to change the scale on the Y maybe to 6, and then I'll change the scale on the X to 6. Okay, on the Y is 0.6, on the X is 6. Okay, we're getting there. I would like to change the position to something like -12 maybe. So now you can see I cannot see it on my game scene, but on my scene view you can see it. You can see it on a game scene, but that's not important right now. So you can collapse now. You can collapse canvas, you can collapse environment, and then you can expand the setup. So while you are here, click on the main camera. I would like to, there's this component named camera, right, where it is the property is clear flex. By default it is skybox. I want to change it to solid color, and then I will select the color that is more grayish. I don't know, something like it is more grayish, something like this. I guess it's pretty cool. Yeah, I cannot see my player. So also this is, remember, this is it's going to be a 2D game, right? I know I created the 3D project, but The brick breaker must be the 2D game. It can be 3D maybe, but in this case it's going to be 3D. I mean 2D. Sorry. So there's this property named projection. By default it is perspective. I wanted to change it to orthographic. Ne? Now I get this thing size. Now I can change size to something like maybe 15. Maybe 15. That's perfect. That's perfect. Right. So I will say that we have successfully set up our hierarchy. Now I will then move to the project folders. So now we're going to switch back to our default layout. So on the upper right corner, select default layout. So I will begin organizing my project folders. So by default you can see right here we have a scene folder. When you click it, we only have one scene, right? So in this folder we will be saving our scenes. Anyway, just right click on this empty space, have your mouse on the create, select folder. So by doing that, we have just created a folder, rename it to scripts. So in this folder we will be storing our script in this folder. So enter inside that folder, create another folder, name it game. So in this folder I'm just going to store my basic scripts, for example player controls, the game mechanics, and yeah, etc. Create another folder. So this folder I will call it managers, right? So this will be my I will be storing my manager scripts in these folders. For example, a game manager, audio manager, and more. Yeah. And the last one, this one I'll call it utilities. So this one I'm gonna store scripts such as helpers. Yeah, we're done. So let's create another folders in the assets folder. So we're gonna create another folder. I will rename this one prefabs. So prefabs, this will be reusable object, game object. So if you wanna reuse the game objects, so okay, it's like I have more than one. So right click again and then create another folder. Name it settings. I'll name this one settings. Okay, let me rename this one in my case. Okay, so in this settings folder, I will be saving settings, my settings. Yeah, and then I will create another one. This one will be, I'll rename it artwork, right? Artwork. Okay, let me just clear this folder. Okay. And then inside that artwork folder, I will create another subfolders. I will open it. Oh, it doesn't open. Okay. Create another folder, and then this one will be material. Name it materials. Yes, I'll create another one for my textures. I'll create another one for my let me shaders. Yeah, we'll discuss later about this concept when we are dealing with artwork. So right now, just create empty folders there. So another one, I'll call it meshes. So in this folder, I will be storing my models which I've modeled using Blender, and then I'll create another one for my audio. Yeah, create another folder, name it audio. Yes. So inside that folder, I will create another folder, name it SFX. This is for my sound effects, right? And then I will create another one for my music, name it music. Yeah, this will store music. Anyway, we'll create another folder, this one for in case. Yeah, I'll name it animator. Yep. Inside that folder, animator, go inside that folder, create another folder, name it animations. This one will store animations, and then animators. Yeah, and then the last one, I promise, just the last one. This one I'll call it fonts. This is the last one. Inside that folder, create another one for the last time, font assets. So here I'll be storing my font assets because I'm going to use Text Mesh Pro. So I will discuss a lot about fonts when dealing with user interface, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm done. Now it's time to go to the real things now.